We've seen high-level overview of the certifications and training framework. Now I would like to spend some time to talk about the resources available for you to prepare for this exam. And many of you have seen Tech Docs focusing on admin guides. And we also have live community. Charles mentioned this earlier today. And live community is a kind of a forum for you. You can log in. We are using single sign-on. If you have an account in our digital learning management platform, it's the same account can be used for live community or the vice versa. And you can ask question, post question. There is a lot of reading materials, and we have a lot of recorded videos of video walkthroughs. And in the earlier days, we have YouTube channels. We also integrated that YouTube channels into this live community. So all the videos that available in YouTube is also available in live community or the other way, vice versa. And it's a powerful resource for you to do a further reading and preparing, managing uh, product and solutions. And in addition to this, I would like to talk about training and certifications. And if you look at slightly comparison on what is digital learning and what is instructor-led training or ILT in short, we have a digital first approach. Every time we release a software versions or product, we will be releasing digital learning first. That's our digital first approach. uh, the digital learning also using a bite-sized learning approach. That means if you're learning in firewall, for example, if you wanted to learn netting, a smaller module, how to learn netting. If you wanted to learn DNS security, a smaller module, how to learn DNS security. It's like probably somewhere between 25 minutes to 3 hours maximum. And it is called bite-sized learning. Every bite-sized learning will follow with an assessment. So you can do a self-paced e-learning. It's free for now, and after that you can continue the assessment to see where you are in that bite-sized learning approach. So digital learning is a much bigger framework. It covers almost everything we have for that particular products. ILT, instructor-led training, on the other hand, is a subset of digital learning. And in the instructor-led training, it's impossible for us to cover everything we are covering in the digital learning. So that's why I say this is a subset. And you will be seeing in the coming slide as well. I'll be explaining that in the coming slide, why it is a subset. When we talk about the exam, I'll be touch about that a little bit. So one more time, digital learning will have a bigger coverage of a specific product, and ILT is a subset of digital learning. And ILT will have a lab, hands-on lab. Digital learning will not have a hands-on lab, right? And if you attend an instructor-led training, we have a 60-40 ratio. What that means is 60% will be lecture, 40% will be hands-on lab. So you can learn and you can practice and you can review the exam data sheet and the blueprint. And if you think you are not ready, you can refer back to the digital learning and then sit for this exam. Now, a little bit on the data sheet and blueprint. In the earlier days, we had three things in order for you to prepare for the exam. One is exam data sheet, a PDF file. Another one is a blueprint, exam blueprint, also a PDF file, and then exam study guide. Exam study guide is a bigger PDF file, which is help you to prepare for this exam. Now, what we did recently is we combined exam data sheet and blueprint in a single PDF file to make your life a little bit easier. The data sheet is like a high level overview of what is covered in the exam. The blueprint part is talks about detail of the data sheet. Hey, and give me a breakdown of how many percentage of deployment covered in this exam, how many percentage of configuration covered in this exam, how many percentage of troubleshooting covered in this exam. That is the job of blueprint. So we combine data sheet and blueprints together. Again, I'm going to show you in this coming slide. And talk about study guide. The study guides is it's a very heavy lift in this study guide. Study guide is a big file, and every time there is a change in the product, we need to update the study guide. It's very difficult for us. And often people download the study guide, keep it in their laptop, and if there is a changes happen, we update the study guide and you are not downloading the latest versions. So there is always discrepancies between the latest version of the exams and the study guide. So we decided to move it to the dynamic approach. We're going to put it into this digital learning management platform. So every time if you are preparing for this exam, refer to the data sheet, refer to the blueprint, and think about which are the area that you wanted to focus on, and you need to go back to the digital learning and then learn that specific part and improve yourself and complete the assessment before you go and take the exam. And we're going to update that digital learning and on a what we call as soon as there is a change, we're going to make it update to the digital learning. That's why we call this is a dynamic, and we will update it as soon as there is a change. We will update the digital learning. It's easier for you to get the latest update there when you are preparing for this exam. Now, these are the resources available for you and some key highlights. The list of available training and the list of available exam is also published in our website. If you click on the training, you can get course data sheet and access to the digital learning management platform. And you can also see which are the authorized training partners, or ATP in short, providing this training. If you click on certifications, you can see the exam data sheet, exam blueprint files, and you can refer to this, see what are the elements covered in this exam, go to the digital learning, and then do a self-paced e-learning before sit for this exam. Or if you think you need to attend the training, contact any one of the authorized training partners and then attend the trainings before you sit for this exam. Now, digital learning management platform. Probably most of the people in this session aware of this digital learning management platform called Beacon, beacon.paloaltonetworks.com. If you log into Beacon, if you navigate to browse, and if you click on this, you'll be seeing all the certification available in Palo Alto Network for each domain. Network security, SecOps. If you click on each one of them, you'll be seeing a detail of that certification. And for each certification, the data sheet is also available here. The digital learning path is available here where you can study on your own. And then there is a link to the exam is also available here. The exam is in Pearson VUE. It's a paid exam, and you can click on the link. It will take you to the Pearson VUE. You can schedule an exam on your own. Now, there is a big change is happening on this today, actually. For the partners, is probably you're already aware of this information, but for customers, this is today. What happened today is we are going to migrate beacon.paloaltonetworks.com into a newer learning management systems called the Learning Center. And the Learning Center will give you a new look and newer approach. It's a AI powered at the back end. It will tell you what are the things that you need to learn. It will give you flexibility to choose design on your own path and learning path in order to excel in your career. And actually, the launch date for customers is today, but I put coming soon um, because today is actually Monday 27, but Monday 27 in a US time zone. So it's still coming soon. We are in a JPEG time zone today. It is not live yet. It's going to go live in a coming, probably in a couple of hours. And the beacon will be still be there. And if you log into Beacon, Beacon will tell you, hello, it's time for you to log into new LMS. So it will help you to redirect all your credentials. The past previous credential will be migrated here. Everything that you have enrolled will be auto migrated here. It's seamless approach. No need to worry. So um, in the today's session, I'll be focusing on Beacon, but in the future, you'll be getting redirected to the newer LMS called the Learning Center. Okay. All right. Now, before I proceed further, I would like to also tell you a little bit about the data sheet, because I mentioned it in the previous slides, saying that, hey, we have merged data sheet and blueprints together. The data sheet is actually a high level overview. It tells you duration of this exam, what is the format of the exam. In Palo Alto Networks, all exams are multiple choice question or MCQ exam, and it's available only in English for all the exam. In the past, we used to have Japanese, but we don't see much adoption, so we discontinued Japanese, and now exams are available only in the English. The cost of the exam, and then recommended prerequisite. Earlier, somebody asked, "Hey, what are the prerequisite?" And the word called prerequisite sometimes could be have a different interpretation for different people. It is just a recommendations, and you decide where you fit into the role-based training and certification path, like in the previous screen, and you choose which exam or which training you need, attend that, and it is anything below that is just recommended. It is not mandatory. I keep repeating, the prerequisites are just recommended, not mandatory. You can take any exam without any prerequisites. Yeah. Now, that's some part of the data sheet. Blueprint. If you referring to the legacy exam, the blueprint still exists, but for the all the newer exam, we merge the blueprint into the data sheet itself. If you navigate, some of the exam will have it in the second page, some of them will be having the blueprint the third page onwards. So if you navigate to the blueprint segment, the blueprint will tell you, hey, what are the domain covered in this exam, and what are the percentage of that domain will be covered in this exam. And so these are the key things that you need to refer to every time you need to prepare for this exam. And the digital learning part is, and one of the important part is, for example, if you refer to this blueprint, if you think, and okay, in this blueprint, it is for the firewall, for example, it's saying PAN-OS networking and configuration. In this is saying, hey, there is an object called aggregated Ethernet, or AE in short. AE or aggregated Ethernet, it's not covered well in the instructor-led training. You need to refer to the digital learning to learn more about aggregated Ethernet. And many deployments are on AE base. But in the instructor-led training, we don't cover that much. This is pretty much 802.3 AD, aggregated interface, port group, port aggregation. Okay. And since AE is not covered in instructor-led training much, you can refer to the digital learning. And if you navigate to that specific exam or firewall exam, for example, you search for PAN-OS, drop down this menu, look for aggregated interface, and then study only that part. There are many other elements that probably not covered in this instructor-led training. So you can refer to this, for example, more on container price firewall or software firewall will not be covered in this instructor-led training. So you can refer to this digital learning and continue your further reading. It's the same approach for all exam. All exam will have digital learning, bite-size approach. For example, CN series firewall, you can study this in 30 minutes. There will be an assessment. You can try yourself, self-study, and then test it yourself, see whether, gauge yourself where you are before you sit for this exam. Each exam, each assessment will have at least 5 questions, or some of the assessment may have up to 10 questions. So if you combine all the assessments question for a single exam, it will comes to about somewhere between 150 to 350 exam assessment question. This 350 assessment question, if you master this, I repeat, if you master this, you can pass this exam easily. It is not remember this exam. It is not memorize this exam. This is not a brain dump. You need to understand this question. That's why I'm referring to if you master these questions. If you understand these questions in this assessment, if you master this question, you can pass this exam easily. Okay, I'll talk about this in the coming slide more. And I will also would like to state a few things about the exam. If you navigate to our website, click on the certification, choose an exam, let's say XIM analyst, and you can see exam data sheets here, link to a learning path, link to a Pearson view, and it also shows a little bit about objective of this exam, who are the targeted audience, recommended learning like instructor-led training, exam analyst course, and resources available for you. And under the resources segment, it talks about certification handbook, agreement, and common questions that people like you ask about this exam. So please go and read about this. It's address all the common questions that you ask. And I would like to cover a little bit some of the key informations that I would like to highlight here. And one of the information here is if you pass the exam, you'll be getting one of the two results once you complete the exam. So let me rephrase this. Once you complete the exam, you'll be getting two results. One is pass, or the other one is fail. If you pass, the immediate results will be provisional pass. I repeat again, provisional pass. It is not a complete pass again, provisional pass. If you fail, the exam result will be fail, straightforward. If you fail, the result will tell you which are the domain you fail. So you can go back, improve the domain, refer to the exam blueprint, understand which domain you are not doing good or not well off, and you go and study that and then practice, come back, attempt for the exam again. And now talk about provisional pass. In Palo Alto Networks, we have data forensics. If you pass the exam, immediately we will give you a provisional pass. At the back end, there is a team called um, what we call exam security team. This team will do a data forensic. They go and do analysis. Whether are you doing, for example, cheating in the exam, any violation of the exam policies. If there is any violation, then they will mark you as a fail from provisional pass. If there is no any violations, if you're compliant with the exam policies, then the provisional pass will be transitioning into a complete pass. You'll be getting an email probably within a day. There is a delta time, usually within a day or two. You'll be getting an email saying that, hey, congratulations, now you are passed. You can log into a cert metrics and download our certificate, what we call the exam certificates. So be careful. There is a data forensic happening at the back end. Once you pass the exam, there will be a provisional pass. And if you clear the data forensic, you won't see it. The backend team will go and do the research. For example, and camera is not allowed to use. iPhone, mobile phone is not allowed to use in the exam. If a camera or mobile phone has been captured, you are using, that's a violation. So don't use all those. It's all clearly written in the exam handbook. Refer to the exam handbooks. Exam retake policy is also mentioned that if you fail the exam once, 15 days you can take another one, 30 days you can take second time, and so on, the third attempt. And it's also clearly mentioned in the FAQ. And we don't recommend unauthorized training materials like brain dump, for example. Please avoid going there. It is not it is not authorized and it's not ethical. We want the new certifications team in Palo Alto Networks say we want the exam carry values. If someone passed the exam, they really know how to configure, manage, troubleshoot this specific product. So we want the exam really carries the value. So do not go to unauthorized material. Refer to Beacon Digital Learning. It is a single source of truth. Like I mentioned earlier, for every exam, we have somewhere between 150 to 350 questions. Those questions is good enough for you. If you master those questions, if you understand those questions, you actually can easily pass this exam. And I can see so many questions popping up, and I think we can keep those questions towards the end, and I can address them together. Okay. And any violations of the policies, you'll be getting an email from examsecurity@paloaltonetworks.com. That's a single email that you can communicate with. Exams are private. Exam results are private and confidential. Your result will not be shared with everyone. So if you think your boss is asking for this, why you fail, and again, we will not be talking to your boss. We'll be talking only to you. because it is completely private and confidential. So the exam security team is the only team will be talking to you anything related to the exam. Okay.